The July 28th Township Board meeting. Let's start the meeting by the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just wanted to say before we get going tonight, I obviously was off on a little bit of a leave. Everything's fine. Everything's good. I'll be going again late September, late August or September again. Everything obviously has been running. Derek Thiel handles all the day-to-day operations. I've been in contact with Derek almost every single day through this whole deal. Once again, I'm fine. Everything's good. But I do got to go again. I'll be out for a little bit in a month or so. So I just thank everyone for doing all that you do. And nothing has changed. Haven't missed a thing. So I just want to say that I've been getting a lot of phone calls and questions, and I just thank everyone once again. Everything's good though. So, all right, let's start out here. I know we got some add-ons. Let me get through these first. Now, Bill, you've got one, but let me run through these first. So we have for additions. We're Bill, I'm going to take yours first due to the fact because of add-on number 1. So Mr. Heil requests an add-on that tonight we vote on the master plan. So does anybody have a second to that for adding that to the agenda?
Second.
All right. Any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
No, hold on.
No, there is discussion.
There's some discussion on
Who
it.
had discussion?
We're just waiting to see if anybody else wanted to talk.
Yeah. So, do you have any
I
discussion?
can go first.
Oh, I thought, no,
So-
that's fine.
The master plan has been a tremendous undertaking for the past 2.5 years by the Planning Commission. Thank you. So the master plan has been a tremendous undertaking by the Planning Commission for the past 2.5 years. They put a lot of work into it, but we're stuck with it for 20 or 25 years. I know it's possible to make changes to the master plan, but it's not easy, right? It's not like we just decide we're going to change it, 4 out of 7 people vote on it and it's changed. It would require public hearings, more public hearings on whatever changes we might propose, and additional votes and efforts, more work by the Planning Commission, and potentially other commissions of the township that would be involved in whatever component of the plan we were changing or adding. So I don't want to rush to failure. There's no deadline for us to approve the master plan. It's not like, next week we have all these master plan construction projects we've got to get started on. And I think there are still some items on it that could use refinement or reconsideration. And I have some specific ones, but generally what I think is the master plan underrepresents young people with families. I think there's a little bit of a bias in it. And I don't know that we could weed that out here from the board level or anything like that. But we could take some time to look at it and see if we can come to a consensus as a board onto some of these things that we might be able to influence or encourage towards that direction. The second thing is, and this is a specific point, is that it doesn't address Macomb Street in a sufficient manner, in my opinion, right? It says, find way, actually I have the verbiage right here. It states, where's it at? Well, I won't make everybody sit here while I dig through.
That's all right. So
it doesn't, it allows for single family homes on Macomb Street to continue to be built. And I think that we should prohibit new single family homes on Macomb Street. And that's just one example. There's also a lot of places where there's been wording changes that weaken the recommendation, which I don't particularly care for since it's always just a recommendation. I think we should have left them as pretty strong recommendations. So that's my perception of it as it stands now.
okay. I didn't mean to hurry you, but for here, We're just doing this to see if it goes on to an action.
You're right. I went in too deep.
No. I like hearing you talk. I'm serious. You bring
So
up some
I
very good
guess
points.
I oppose making it an action item. I want to discuss it.
And we can say that if it goes through, you can repeat it. That was good. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking with you. So anyway, anybody else have anything for the action item itself?
I mean, can I talk about it, or do you want to wait till later? He's
Well, I
kind
mean,
of
if it goes, you can talk about what the reasons are. This is only for it to go to an action.
Okay, that's fine. I can wait. That's fine.
Anybody else have anything? I've got some comments too, but I'll wait to see if it goes through.
Okay.
And if it goes through, then I'll give you my 2 cents. Okay. Everybody good for the action item? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, make it an action item.
Nay.
Nay.
Maybe we have a card. I didn't.
Do a roll call. Just do a
Well,
roll call.
no, it's 3 and 3, so that means it doesn't go.
Okay, I just want to make, you were counting, so I just want to make sure.
That means
Okay.
it doesn't go.
All right.
All right. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, you have to have 4 on the, when one's missing anyway. Okay. So let's go to, the number 1 here would be adding discussion item number 2 then as a master plan next step. So that would go to the action item. Is there a motion?
It would make it a discussion item.
I'm sorry. Yeah, a discussion item. I apologize on that. Is there a second on that? Or a motion? I got to get a motion first to add it. Nobody wants to make a
Wait, make number 2 is a discussion, so authorization to distribute the,
Yes, then I'll second that. Are you
I'll
making
make
the
the
motion?
I want to make sure I'm talking about the rate. So you talking about the action item, and make a discussion item. Number 2,
So number 2,
authorization
make it,
distribute.
add
RFP.
discussion item number 2 would be master plan next step, since the action item went down.
Okay,
This is to add it.
I will second that.
okay, all right.
Okay, then
I'm
Kevin
clear now.
seconds it?
Sorry.
Okay, all in favor to add it as a discussion item only?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, discussion item number 2. Let me put this down. Number 2 would be, I'm just gonna put master plan. All right, we got that. You with us? All right, good. All right. To delete action item number 1, Downtown Development Authority TIF Development Plan Professional Services Agreement.
So move. You'll need a second.
Yeah, you need a
I'll
second.
second it.
Second. All in favor to delete action item number 1?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay. To add action item number 4, GIPD officer new hire. I need a motion.
Motion to add.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion at all on this for just adding it as an action item? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. No presentations tonight. Approval of the agenda, I'm going to need as presented. So I need to make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, approval agenda as amended has gone through. Now no presentations. Now we have individuals in the audience. You can public comment, 3 minutes on anything you want. Doesn't have to be an agenda item, doesn't have to be, it's whatever you like. Does anybody would like to come up to the podium? It's your chance now. Kyle?
Hello, everyone. Kyle Debose, 21719 West River Road. I didn't come tonight prepared for a master plan vote, so I'm happy that just went the way that it did. I didn't want to come tonight with guns blazing, reaching out to 300 people that had signed a petition on it. I just wanted to come to you all, just as me. No prepared remarks. I understand why the master plan needs to move. I do know that there is, possible funding at risk, especially for the rezoning of Macomb, which I generally support. So I know I've been talking to different folks, most of all of you, about if there was a master plan passage, possibly doing a minor amendment pretty quickly following it. So that's what I was hoping to talk to you all about tonight. And again, I'm glad that you all decided to do discussion item rather than an action item. That would have been really tough. Again, not quite prepared after what you all just did. I I don't know if I want to go more into the master plan tonight, just after what just happened, but I will just say, regardless of what happens with the master plan, that was something I cared about right after my election didn't go through. I said, this is the one thing I'm concerned about, me not being on the board, and I'm still concerned about it. But there are other things that I care about and that I'm going to be bringing up, not necessarily related to the master plan. You all are here in summertime. Winter's going to come very soon. You all are going to have to appoint commissions very soon. As you all know, there's a policy on the township books that if you don't show up for a certain amount of commission meetings, that you are not in compliance. That's a policy, but there is no enforcement measure for it. And so my proposal that I think I've given you all, but not maybe not necessarily publicly, is that you force people to re-interview if they don't meet the amount of meetings that they've been in. So I'm going to be bringing that up regardless of what happens with the master plan. I just don't want people to feel like that's because I'm unhappy with what happens in the master plan. It's something I care about regardless. So I wanted to bring that up tonight to you all. So I'll leave it there. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle. Okay, would anybody else? Public comment?
The lady over here.
Yes, ma'am, come on up. You can
Hi,
lower
Kyle.
that, Derek.
It's
Hold on.
Young Chum.
We got a switch right here. We'll lower that for you for the microphone, ma'am. We got a switch. It goes to my level, so that's perfect for you. How's that for you?
Well, I got a little writing for maybe.
Oh,
understand better.
what is
I
this?
hope English is not-
Oh, okay.
We can read it into the record.
Problem is my water, I didn't know there is leaking water in my house. And the whole 3 months is leaking. And my water bill is jump up so much, $1,200 for this month.
Okay,
So
okay.
anything you can help me out, reduce. And Donna, she told me that you got a meeting here, and you can ask.
I'm gonna give this to this young man right here. He's the head of the Department of Public Service and the Water Department.
Yeah.
Okay, I read it. No, I read it. I want to give him, oh, I'm sorry.
What's your name, man?
Young Chun?
Is it written on there?
No.
Can you
I
spell it
just-
for me?
Like a B, like a boy, Y-U-N-G. Last name is C-H-U-N-G.
Okay, thank you.
We will have our water department take a look at that, and the head is right here, so, okay?
Yes,
And we'll get back with you,
okay. I spoke to Miss Donna.
okay?
She told me the today meeting, so I have to be asked here.
To
She
come
give
to
me
the
a-
meeting?
Yeah, she give you a little bit of discount, but not enough.
Gave you, I'm sorry.
Little off discount,
No,
whatever.
discount.
Oh, okay, no, but let's let this gentleman here, who's the head of the water department, also with our DPS, okay?
Okay,
And he will look into that and get back with you.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Very welcome.
Do you have a contact info?
I don't.
Has the water leak been repaired, ma'am?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and would you say your address, just the street, please?
8434 Island Boulevard.
Island Boulevard.
Thank you.
8434 Island Boulevard.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else from the audience? Everybody good? Everybody good? Okay. With none, we'll go, Kevin, you want to do the consent agenda, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda 25-043.
Microphone
Approved.
and second.
Thank you. And thank you for the second. The consent agenda includes the Township Board of Trustees minutes for the July 14th meeting, 2025, the check register dated through July 25th, 2025, and set the public hearing on special assessment on Elba Island. And those are what's included. And we can vote on that. So
Okay,
vote to approve it,
To
please.
approve consent agenda 25-043. Can I get a motion, please?
Support.
Okay,
Second.
I'll give the motion. Okay.
And as a second.
Kevin, I'm sorry, Bill seconded.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried for the consent agenda 25-043. Okay, action items. Number 1 has been deleted. Number 2.
Can we do .5?
No, we already went through it. Is there an emergency?
I thought we talked about that.
Is there? Okay.
But if we can't now, that's fine, I understand.
Are we trying to do another edition?
No, we're trying to switch some. I wanted to see if somebody had to get to somewhere.
Okay.
We're good right now. We could have switched earlier. I'm sorry. Okay, authorization to distribute entrance audit. I'm going to handle that one for an RFP. Request for proposal. Groseal Township Board hereby authorizes the distribution of the attached entrance audit request for proposals. Wait a second.
Second.
As discussed at previous meetings, the action item would authorize the distribution of an RFP, request for proposal. It does not authorize a contract for the services. An additional item would be required by the board to authorize a contract for the proposed services. This is just so it can go out to see what bites we get from these companies that would do this type of audit for us. Any discussion from the board, please?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at, right now, my notes are not with me, but I'm looking through the audit. The time frame is inaccurate from what I remember us discussing. We were talking about going back 2 terms, maybe even 10 years, 2.5 terms. I would like to see a 10-year
Look back.
look back into the records. That's what I would like to see. All right, not just till August of whatever it was, 23, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it right now. My notes are not with me.
One of 19 through March 31st of 24, so you'd be going like 14 to 24.
So the last term in a little
5
bit,
years.
yeah. No, I think we should go back, in my opinion, at least 10 years.
It'll be a total of 6 years then. I
All right.
mean, years.
I'm thinking 10 years, 2.5 terms.
I'd like to ask a question. Somehow in my memory of past discussion, the thought was to check 5 years, and then if that seemed appropriate, to go the added distance. Has there been a change in that, or am I accurate in that remark?
I don't recall the 5 years, Bill, but I do think we should go back at least 2
Derek, is
terms,
there-
2.5 terms.
I know when I spoke to one of the gentlemen, one of the auditors, he stated that you can go in terms of years. Let's just say you want to go 2, you want to go 4, you want to go 6, you want to go 8. On this, what's the possibility then, just to get their number of, say, that would be 6 years. So if we go, to get a quote for 5 years, and then, did you really think, Mark, I'm just asking you, that 10 years is what you're looking at?
That's what I would feel comfortable with, yes.
Okay.
That's
So-
just my opinion.
This isn't budgeted for,
I'm sorry?
The way it's written is 5 fiscal years.
It is 5 fiscal years.
When did you start?
It goes, because our year goes from April 1st to March 31st.
Okay.
So April 1st of 19 to March 31st of 24 is 5 fiscal years.
When did you start?
I started in October of 23.
So could we go from September of 23 back 10 years?
Well, you can do whatever we want. The
Yeah,
question
I
is,
mean, I
they
would
just
be
have
com-
to give you a bid on the total number of years, Kevin. So,
I would be comfortable
I'd
with
like
that.
to do 10 years too.
how about this? Can we do 2 quotes? Can we get a quote for 5 and then 10? Would you guys be happy with that? Just to get an idea of the feel of the difference in price? Because I do know what the price was for 3. So I'm just telling you.
Can we-
Minimum of 8,
Let's,
No, we'll go 5 and
8
10.
to 10?
why don't we compromise on 8?
are we budgeted for this? I want to
No.
make
No.
sure we're clear.
No, we're not.
Okay.
I'd like to just ask or make another point. I'm not clear entirely on, I've read the thing over, and I think the document, at least as we're asking for it, is pretty accurate in what it's asking for. But what is the reason for that? I mean, if we're learning how to better audit our books or come up with better answers for things, that's good. But what would 10 years teach me that 5 years wouldn't?
Well, 10 years would show us, Bill, what you wouldn't know, because remember, you don't know what you don't know. So,
What are we going to do with what we find out?
well,
Depends what we find out, if
find out what we
anything.
find out, then. I'm not saying anything improper happened. I'm just saying
I
that the
understand
group
you-
wanted to go back and do a different type of audit than what our regular auditors do. So the question is, I guess tonight, right now, is can we do 2 time frames? This RFP, the proposal is for a bid. We're trying to get a bid from companies, and it is predicated upon time frame. So I went and got bids from companies when we started this for 3 years, just for no other reason, just to get a number. So, and then I said we will figure out how many years the group would like to proceed. So my
We-
question,
I'm sorry,
Oh,
can
no.
we do 3 timeframes then? Let's do 5, 8, and 10. And see when the numbers come back at. Because we still have to
I
look
guess-
at the budget to see if we can
I
still
guess
handle that too.
mathematically, that wouldn't be too difficult for them to figure out if they know what it is per year. Let's just say, Teresa, am I wrong? You explain that to me. Would I be wrong in how auditing firms or these types of companies, I mean, how much more work do they gotta do to do a 5, 8, and 10 by just adding numbers, is it? Like,
It would probably require a bigger sampling size. And everything that they're doing would be probably double what they would be doing for 5 years.
that's what I mean. It's 10 years, double the amount of money for us to 5 years. Would you say that's a reasonable
Yes,
assumption?
correct.
Okay. Can we put that in there, in the RFP, 5, 8, and 10? Or do you want to go lighter than the 5? You want to go 4, 8, and 10? What do you guys want to do? It's up to you. You want to do 5?
I'm good
I'm-
with 5, 8, 10.
Are you comfortable with saying how much the 3 years cost, the estimate was?
I was comfortable, very comfortable. Teresa and I even talked about it. The amount for 3 years was, that's a really good price. That's all I'm saying. But that was, how many years ago did I do this? A couple of years ago, so.
The issue in my mind is we're looking at policies, procedures, money, how the township does things correctly or incorrectly, how we can do things better, and evaluate back at least into the back. You know, we have to go far enough back to look into the other when other
Groups?
when other boards had been here. Yes. So I think we have to. I think we have to have it far enough back to see where
right.
we could learn what we can learn from it and how
Okay,
we can do a better job.
I understand. Let's do this. Let's do this so we get it right. Derek, can you just put in there, can we please get a bid for 5, 8, 10? Mark, is that good?
I'm
You guys
good with
good
that,
with
yes.
And can we
Yeah,
change
I've got
the
some
date
comments,
to
Not on this
when
part.
prior to
I'll have to talk to Teresa about that, because it should coincide with fiscal years. Are you talking about the date that
no,
precedes?
I'm saying looking at
The last fiscal year before she was.
correct.
employed.
Yes.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
do that. Yep.
Jameson
I'm
has
gonna
some
throw-
comments.
So, so looking at this RFP, it says we're going to evaluate the following: procurement practices, accounts payable, and examine the accuracy, internal control, segregation. So what this really is this is looking at practices, programs, and policies, right? It's not looking for significant oversights, right? So my concern is we can get this information out of 2 years. We don't need to get 8 years. I mean, what are they going to tell us? Hey, you guys had some really bad procurement policies in 2017. Like, great. Are they good now? Yeah, they're good now. Like, we're just paying someone to tell us we were crappy before when we're probably, we could use a shorter period of time to get the same information. So I feel like what this particular RFP is looking for is to tell us ways we can be a better township, which is great. I don't think we need to go 8 years to do that. Probably not even 5, to be honest. Now, if you wanted to do like a forensic audit, right, and actually look for criminality or unethical, maybe not criminality, maybe unethical practices, I could see going back 8 years or 10 years for that. But just trying to find out, that we did a poor job of managing our land inventory in 2019, seems like kind of a...
It does go that way.
Because this doesn't say, hey, we are going to dig in and look at actual accounts and do a forensic audit, right? Because I could support that. I'm not really concerned about, the proposed work schedule, including estimated and starting end dates for a particular employee.
So what would we have to say so that that would be acceptable to you?
Well, let me
Excuse me.
let me just
sorry.
add, this might help you out in your question. This might help you out in your statement. This company that I spoke to, these are the parameters that they work by, but they do exactly what you said. They will do exactly what you said, and when they go further and undo the onion, if there's an issue, that is what their basic tasks are. And I'm not saying there's improprieties, something illegal at all. I want to get that straight, especially for those who were here, who are here, and who are listening. What they do is they look for certain areas that peel back that onion much further than our own auditors. And what they uncover, that is the direction they go in, because that is the direction that their program goes in. So when you say, do we have to say in here, is any of it forensically done? It's mostly forensically done. And that's how it was explained to me by the gentleman, because, I'm not going to hide behind this, but the one company, their entire group are forensic attorneys from the FBI and forensic CPAs and auditors from the FBI. That's who this company is made out of. So with that in mind, I'm honest with the people. I'm straight. This is what they do for a living, and they have a direction they go in. And yes, those are the parameters they look at, and they make sure we're doing things just correctly. But I don't know how else to explain. Yes, go ahead, Teresa.
So in the accounting world, forensic does imply something is wrong. And it's typically focused on a specific area where they believe something is wrong, which is not that's my understanding that, that's not the case here. For what Jamison said about procedures, that is the core of what we're looking at, but from an accounting or auditing perspective, looking at those policies can lead to looking at financial data.
Correct.
To make sure there's two parts, looking to see what your policy is, and then looking to see, is it practiced correctly, which can then lead to looking at the numbers. In BS&A, I can go back to April 1st of 2009. I don't think that's what anybody wants, but they may, depending on what parameters we set, they may look at numbers as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of implied.
That's exactly,
it's
Teresa, how they
implied
explained
with,
it.
With
how
that
we
being said-
stated the scope of work, I think.
Okay.
With that being
Thank you.
said, I'd like to suggest that we consider a different time frame. I think I would be more comfortable with 4-year intervals, 4 years, 8 years, 12. Administrations is what I'm saying. You have a feel for, everybody's got a different way of doing things. And you're going to be looking at procedural cells to learn, to see what happened. I'm not saying that anything would be wrong. You might find something you like. Instead
True,
of like-
and there is a balance here that I looked at between weighing a goal of what we're trying to achieve and cost. I'm not gonna say that 12 years is gonna be extremely expensive. It's gonna be extremely time-consuming and extremely expensive. I'm not saying that it's not worth doing that, but we still have to have that balance, so let's come up right now with the RFP so we can get this moving at least of the amount of time.
Can I just really quick?
Sure.
I want to make sure not only do I understand, but residents would understand. Is the goal policies and procedures, or is the goal forensic? Because they seem to me, and Teresa, you can tell me if I'm incorrect, they can coincide, but they don't have to coincide.
Again, forensic implies that something
Something's
is
wrong,
already wrong. We
but-
know that
right.
there's, something has happened.
But I think Jameson did a good job of clarifying.
Yeah.
What are we trying to do? If we're trying to look at policies and procedures, then you wouldn't need to go back 10 years per se, because you've already done that job, correct? You've already, redefined policies and procedures of how, we should be functioning. So that gets me to the point of, I think we need to be transparent or clear. And is the goal forensic? I think we just need to be really clear on it. I have no problem,
Well-
following up and saying, okay, here's the RFP, and we can review once we have a number, a price tag. But I think we need to be really clear up front.
I think where we have an issue right now that we're talking about is the groups that do this. I'm not saying you could put whatever you want on an RFP and they have a way to do it, but this group is focused on a certain way they do things. They have a direction that they go in. Teresa is absolutely correct to explain to me that they look at things, and once they look at the policies and procedures, then they unpeel or they peel back more of that onion to the numbers. Once they get into the numbers, then they follow the money trails from all the accounts. That is their basic way of doing things. So no matter what is on that RFP, I guess we could put on an RFP and it be incorrect. Please just come in and tell us if our procedures are right. They could do that. But that's not how they operate.
Yeah, and I'm not asking for
Yeah.
that. I'm just asking that we all,
I think I can.
If you want to call it
let me
forensic,
try
let's call it
something.
forensic. Day one, I think it was December 9th was our first meeting. We put it right out there, day one, we're gonna do a forensic audit. And I think that's what we should do. Just to clear things, clear the air. If there's an issue, we take care of it. If there's no issues, then we move forward and we correct what we need to correct.
And that's the way it was. So let's do this. Let's get a number and let's see what comes back with the RFPs. Is everybody okay with, let's just,
I need to get another thought in here before I'm okay.
okay. Go ahead, sir.
But in a way, you make a parallel to see if I've got this straight as I understood Teresa, and this might help Margaret. You go to a doctor, you have certain tests that you take. And they tell you whether everything's fine or not. And if one of them has a little bit of an odor to it or a taste that isn't quite right, you have a couple more tests. And finally you decide whether there's any cause for concern or whether it's just a temporary circumstance. If we start looking at things and they seem to suddenly have a question mark fly up out of nowhere, and they begin to investigate the question mark, that might be when it became forensic, before it was just procedural. That's what I understood her to say. Am I on track with you?
Again, forensic is a term that's used in relation many times with fraud.
What I'm saying is that,
And we're not saying that has occurred.
I'm
You
agreeing
want
with
a
it.
review of everything.
We don't know,
No, right,
you know.
right, which is why we've not called it forensic, because of the perception of that word.
but they do tests, you might say, like we have with a medical situation, isn't that correct? They look through it, if something's not quite right, they investigate it a little further.
If they find something in looking at the procedures and they don't feel that it's quite right, then they're gonna look at, what do we actually do? And if
And then
there's a
you might
problem,
find
and then-
something that's
So we
forensic.
look back at 5 years to what did we actually do, then they're gonna ask me, do you still do it this way? Do you do it differently? How do you do it?
Sure.
Okay, let's,
So, and I don't know, you know, how they handle it when if they find something, but now some things have changed, and it's fine now. So it depends, but also keep in mind that when we get the RFPs, we have in there, and I think we absolutely should have interviews with the firms that respond so that it's clear with them.
that's fine,
Exactly what we are looking for.
That's a very good point. That's exactly what we should be doing. Once we get the firm we think, we need to bring them in and we need to interview them. And then the goal is what's expected. There's no surprises. It's exactly what we wanted. And if they don't do that, then they don't do that. In other words, you know, they don't take the job then. And that's fine. So let's do this. So we need to get this done and move this forward. It's been a long time. Why don't we go, Derek, why don't we get I think we need an odd number of years, and you guys will follow me with this just because of how about we go 5, 8, and 12 then and just see what their bids are. 5, 8, and 12. And an entry audit that's done is done in a forensic matter, no matter what you put in the RFP. If you're looking for an entry audit, that's how it's done. So let's do this. Let's see what comes back. Everybody good with that? And I think we can move forward, and then we can change anything.
Do you need a motion to enact that, Joe?
No, well, yeah, what this is obviously the action item, and this is the discussion part. So let's take a vote on this.
RFP as amended.
Is everybody good? So what I will do then, so I have to change this then to say, how was the original one? I got to do it because it was amended.
No, I think you would just,
Can we do that? How do we do that?
yeah, I'd say
Elena?
Grosse Ile Township Board hereby authorize the distribution of the attached entrance audit request for as amended for proposal.
For proposal. Okay, audit as amended. We just add that to it. That's good enough? Okay. All in, do I need a second? on the
Second.
New one? Yeah, I need a second. Mark.
Second.
Thank you very much. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, everyone, for that. Margaret, are you handling number 3? Yep. Thank you. Go ahead.
Approval to distribute salary benchmarking RFP wage survey. The Grosse Ile Township Board hereby authorizes the distribution of the attached salary benchmarking wage survey request for proposals.
Second.
So the history on this is, we've discussed this at several other meetings. This approval does not authorize a contract, only the distribution of the request. A subsequent approval of the board to authorize a contract would be necessary. The implementation schedule would be upon approval.
So, Margaret, I had a question. I read through the RFP. One of the things I would like to see result from this effort, right? It doesn't necessarily have to result from this RFP, but there should be a pay scale. And it doesn't seem like this RFP recommends or develops a pay scale, unless I'm...
I know that absolutely should be part of it because it's definitely on my list of objectives for this particular item.
I thought that's what comes out of the wage survey, so yeah, that would have to be there. Some way, somehow.
Well,
Yeah, there is, under scope of work, paragraph 1, determine appropriate pay ranges for all positions.
Okay.
If we want to state that differently, we can, obviously.
I guess what I thought, and maybe I'm overthinking it, but I would imagine there to be a chart that comes out that's like township maintenance technician level 1, 2, 3, right? Like, police officer 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I mean, it has determined appropriate spread between minimum and maximum of pay ranges and establishment of steps between minimum and maximum pay ranges, and that's per position.
So I think that's what that is.
That'll cover it. Okay, that was my only
Yeah,
question.
no, that would cover it, that part.
Okay.
I assumed it covered it.
And
Go ahead, sir.
the other question I had was, we had talked about comparing with other, comparing what our benefit compensation packages with other communities that are similar to us in the downriver area. And that also, the idea that people that are coming to interview with us could also interview with Detroit, or they could interview with Riverview. So that way, if we look at downriver and so comparing with peers as well as someplace else they could go, and comparing with the private sector.
Yes, and I
if
believe all
that's-
that's included.
That's also in the
Okay.
scope of
Yeah.
work.
So
Okay.
I've got requests for both public and private sector.
Okay.
I've also indicated that they needed to,
Okay.
provide comps, and we would review those comps to ensure that they were comparable. There are full salary and benefit reviews that they'll be doing as part of the work, and that request is in the RFP.
Would this also include the evaluation process on how people move up, how they're promoted, pay increases, promotions, how often they would be? I'm assuming the unions, some of the union stuff already talks about that. Evaluations.
Yeah, it does speak to evaluations being a prerequisite for stepping up in pay ranges, but I don't believe it addresses the process or procedures for step, changing or promotions within a department. A lot of times, as you had mentioned, it is part of the union collective bargaining agreement, those stipulations, but.
You talking about
That
performance
promotion,
evaluations?
Kevin, promotions are union, which is contractual, non-union, which is departmental policies and procedures on promotion areas. So
Well,
that wouldn't be with maybe the money end would be in there, the salary, but not how or what with that. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. What I'm hoping is, though, that we develop a whole process on employment and how to,
Well, they would all
Yeah.
three of those areas would have to be linked together then.
Okay.
We can look at that later, obviously, but it won't be separate on this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
What you looking for?
I'd like to,
Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah,
all right.
Yes, it's in there right there.
yes.
Joe,
Yes, go ahead, Bill.
I'd like to throw my nickel in on this.
Go ahead, Bill.
These are comments that are a little bit technical in nature, but the compensation, what constitutes it? I've had conversations with people who are wanting us to take care that hospitalization, medical benefits, pensions, other forms of compensation be compared as well, so that we look at the word compensation as opposed to wage and salary. Those are technicalities, and we do cover them and distinguish them in the instructions further on, but in the titles of the documents that go out, we feel an emphasis would be beneficial there as well, with trying to look at a total package. And then also trying to compare to similar communities and their circumstances. How do you look at them to make sure they're comparable or to show that they're not? We can only afford to pay what we can pay. If we're not a community of 30,000 people, we're a community of 10. And the 30,000 community is not one of 60. And we have to keep those things in mind when we put this thing together, and have the people that do the work for us also keep that in mind.
Well, when we get these back, Bill, just so you know, because you benchmark wages, salaries, fringes, benefits, total compensation package, this gives us a look at what others have, what is in the reasonable amount, and then we still have to go from there to okay it or not. So
Yes.
I understand. Okay, everybody good so far? All right. Action item number 3, approval to distribute salary benchmarking RFP wage survey. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Number 4, action item, police officer new hire, Margaret.
So, recommendation of the Township Board to approve the hire of Mr. John Ames as an officer with the Groseal Township Police Department, effective July 28th, 2025.
Second.
Upon the recommendation of the Groseal Police Commission, we ask Township Board approval to hire John Ames as an officer with the Groseal Police Department effective July 28th, 2025. Mr. Ames has completed the interview process, including a departmental interview, an interview with the police commission, background check, employment physical, drug screen, and psychological exam. He will be starting at 80% of patrol officer's wage as per the current union contract and will have a 1-year probationary period. The start date of Mr. Ames would be August 25, 2025. And the financial impact is that it is currently budgeted for. It is somebody that is going to replace one of our officers that has left the department.
Okay, anything from the board? Any questions, any comments?
Get him hired.
Doug's out here too in case we have something for him. Nothing?
Nope.
All right, everybody good?
Let's get
All right.
him hired. Let's get him going.
All right, very good. Okay, action item number 4, police officer new hire. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Number 4. Thank you very much. Okay, on to the discussion items. Number 5, we do not have. Okay, first one is Cell Tower Legal Services, RFP. Derek, do you want to
Yeah,
begin that?
if you recall, we sent this RFP out probably about 4 or so months ago. And the proposals we received in weren't necessarily in line, I think, with what we were looking for as a group. So when I discussed that with, I believe, the board, the overall consensus, I believe, was to kind of revise that RFP, focus more on the core responsibilities, which was to negotiate and manage the leases that we have, and as they come up, negotiate the new leases. So the proposal was modified slightly to focus more on that. I believe we received, I think, 4 or 5 proposals. Copies of those were forwarded to the township board members, I believe, last week. So hopefully you've had an opportunity to look at those. And if you have, the purpose of it being on the agenda tonight is to have a conversation about the next step. As is in our other RFPs, we reserve the right to interview the proposal, the individuals or the firms that have made the proposals. I guess that would be my suggestion, is that if there is a short list of candidates that the board would like to bring in and speak with, we could do that at a subsequent meeting. But it's on the agenda tonight to solicit direction from the board as to what your next steps are that you want us to pursue.
Okay, comments from the board?
So I know I was one of the people that was looking into having somebody else try to manage our cell tower contracts. I think it's really important that we make sure that we have somebody, they do not have to necessarily be experts in cellular communications. It's just important, in my opinion, that we have somebody that's communicating with the companies as required, that they are not overstepping their boundaries. Specifically, an example would be utilizing more property than had been agreed upon that was being monetarily supported. I would prefer we not get the funding that we are supposed to receive based on a lack of attention to that particular detail. So if, we could, go through these, determine what's preferred. I know I haven't had time to go through all of them yet, Derek, but, maybe if we could bring this up as a, possible discussion item or potential action item, if everybody has time to review what's there, I'd be open to it. I think this is an important one.
So we talked about making an action item tonight?
No.
I was gonna say, yeah.
No,
we
I have,
passed
that's
that.
what I'm sorry, that's what I was saying, is I haven't had time to go through.
We can have a study session, we can have another discussion.
Right.
No, you
I
can't
think a
make
study
an action.
session would be appropriate.
Anybody else have any, Jameson, you're pondering,
Just being
typing,
reflexive.
you're typing on the notes, okay. So what would be our next step then? What would you guys suggest then?
We could even, I don't know, if a discussion item where we all have the time to go through each of these items, or whatever you guys prefer.
Yeah, we could push it to the August 11th meeting. That might give you some more time to review the
Right.
proposals. And then just come to that meeting with, I guess, your opinion as
That
far
would
as
be-
what you would like to see next.
I think
If you
that
have a
would
short
work.
list, put that together. You know, if you want to interview a couple, if you want to just have conversations about the proposals, maybe we'll leave it up to you guys as to what direction you want to go with that on the 11th.
Yep, that's fair.
Okay.
All right, everybody good on that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, discussion item number 2, master plan. Who would like to start on this?
Well, I've already said what I was gonna say, so
Wanna-
I'm not gonna repeat it.
Here's the, let me just give you my, you sure you wanna? Okay. This is my take on it. There are some things in the master plan that I would like to see changed. Obviously, everybody has something they would like to see changed. They did a lot of work on this. Numerous individuals on the planning commission. Ross is here. Ross, do you want to come on up? Ross is the community development director, and he oversees and works with planning, zoning, everything, building department. So Ross is here for any questions. But what I just realized when I found this out after coming on, 6-8 months ago, that we can send this back. Now, I want you, don't be bashful. If you believe I'm improper in what I'm saying or wrong, I want you to jump in because I respect your opinion on this. But if we would like something changed, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus on the planning commission, but we can send whatever we want back to them. They're not changing anything. I don't feel that they're going to change a thing. We could tell them to change and change and change, and they don't have to. I mean, they can come back with the same thing. What they have given us is what they told us. To the most part, I'm not going to say I'm done, I'm going home, but they're done. They gave us what the change was. And there are some things that we all have, and I'm even in agreement with Jameson on a couple items just to look at. The way, if we wanted it changed in the future, would be you have to have a public hearing. You have to have something else. I don't want to get so deep into it. I think you only have to have one public hearing, maybe 2. On each item has to be separate, if there are separate items, when you want them changed. And then the township board can vote on it, and then it can be changed in the master plan. My issue now is, sure, there's some things that I know all of us here aren't in agreement with, and some, like Mark and I also are in agreement with. There was one we talked about that I understand your point, and Jameson too, but if we send it back, it's going to come back the same way. Am I 100% sure? Pretty much sure on that one. I mean,
Yeah, I can't speak for planning commission, but we've, the years that has been gone into this, the hours and hours and hours, just in the past 6 months of making these changes, drafting this master plan, I think that ultimately this is the best product that we're going to get. And, nobody on planning commission is going to say, are they 100% happy with it? They're not. Everyone all made concessions, and that was all communicated to you all at our meetings, I believe about a month ago, when we met with you all individually and discussed exactly the process, exactly the changes that went into this. And as far as, this is going to be reviewed on an annual basis, and at any time, the township board can initiate an amendment, whether minor or major, to the plan. And I know that there's, somebody had mentioned the single family single family buildings on Macomb. That is mentioned in the plan. It's to discourage the development of single family buildings on Macomb Street. that will be addressed once we adopt this plan, once we update zoning ordinances on Macomb Street, right? So, and at that point, any zoning changes that are implemented come from Planning Commission and come to the board. The board can either approve zoning changes, approve with amendments, or reject zoning changes. So at that time, let's say, we start the zoning update process on Macomb Street, which we'll do immediately upon adoption. Those zoning changes will come to the board. And if there's something that you don't like in those zoning changes, you can either approve, or you can approve them with amendments, or you can deny it altogether and say, we want something completely different. So the Township Board is the final approving body when it comes to zoning ordinances and can amend zoning ordinances as you seem fit, as they are presented to you. The Planning Commission is just a recommending body, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ross, and I think you put it more eloquently than I did. But we do have a way to change things if we feel there's a need and a problem. And again, please, if anybody from the Planning Commission is listening, I'm not trying to speak for you, but in speaking to most, well, at least half of them, what they have put in is what they put in, and it's been a long, drawn-out issue, and I guess we could bring it back to them, and they can bring it back to us the exact same way. They don't have to change a thing.
Well,
So the question is,
we can provide them specific guidance,
yes,
right? Like strengthen the language regarding Macomb Street, or find additional opportunities for housing units, or immediately modify R1E.
but they don't have to do that.
I mean,
So,
No, they
I'd
wouldn't
like
have
to
to.
add
It could be a
something here at
suggestion,
this
but they wouldn't
point.
have
well,
to.
Ross, can you address that?
yeah.
So can they just be like, nah, screw you, board, we're not doing it?
Nope. So, I guess in terms of rejecting the plan overall, you could just send it to Planning Commission and they could just sit on it for as long as they want before they feel ready to make those changes. I'm not really sure how that process goes. Brian Borden, the township planner, has been doing this for over 20 years. He's never seen a situation where the approval authority sends it back to Planning Commission. So how this would all play out, I'm really not sure, and neither is he.
Well, I think a lot of times it would be handled without rejecting it, right? Where it's like, hey, listen, Planning Commission.
Yeah.
You got to make some changes here.
Right,
you
and
know?
so-
And so it sits here at the board level until it's sufficiently. Yeah.
No,
Well, that
you would need to send it back with direct action items. Amend this, change this, include that. It can't just be like an
formally
email
reject it, yes.
Yeah.
But if we didn't want to formally reject it, we could just have a conversation with the Planning Commission.
I'm not really sure how
we can have a conversation with any of the commissions we want.
Absolutely.
Right.
The question is what comes out of it is,
I guess my
I'd
struggle
like to-
is they've done this for 2 years.
2.5.
I've not seen too much attendance from board members at these discussions or comment. Now, I've had conversations with several of the planning commissioners just to ground myself, but this was after I had already had multiple conversations that Ross supported. He met with Ross, Mr. Schweikert and Brian Borden met with each of us in smaller groups to go through any concerns, questions, or issues. We had time to review and to prep for these meetings. I guess I'm very much struggling with that prep, that if we had concerns, things like this should have been out there already and in, discussion phase. And to Ross's point, Brian Borden was very clear, at least during our meeting. So it was asked, what happens if, the 4 members of the board or more choose to, send back the master plan? Exactly what Ross just explained. You don't just get to go, I don't like it, and here's kind of what I don't like. So, you have to be very clear. You have to write down very specifically what your concerns are, how you think they should be addressed, what your next step should be. You'll also go through a lengthy process just to send this back, which no one should be adverse to if they're that concerned about it. So that I'm not saying that's an issue. What I'm saying is, I think we have to have a little more respect for the work that was put into it. And if we had questions, then I think we should have been already asking that. And I did send an email and said I did have one of the commission members ready to come in and discuss this, but I had concerns that I didn't want him coming in here and then being potentially bombarded with, too much. If we could have had something separately, we could have done that too. I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit frustrated now also, because I do think that Ross has covered Macomb Street. The ordinances are going to get supported. He needs to get working on that. We need to get moving on a new tax base. And Macomb, to me, is the biggest piece to that. I'd really love to see us start moving.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that, Margaret. I guess I have a little bit of a different perception of going to commission meetings and talking, because I'm not a member of the public. So if I go make public comments, that's the township clerk talking to a commission, so I don't necessarily subscribe to that. But I think that this is our opportunity as a board to, exert whatever feelings we have about it. But that said, it sounds like I'm in a pretty severe minority, so I'm not going to sit up here and beat a dead horse.
No, and I'm sorry if you feel that way, though. I mean, I guess somebody might have to ground me then, because I've gone to commission meetings and said, this is me speaking as a resident, because I don't want it to be, I just did that at DDA. I said I have some concerns as a resident. So that's just the way I'm looking at it, and I don't expect anybody to look at it the same way, but I just, that's my feeling about it.
I'd like to get 2 cents into this.
Hold on, Bill, 1 second. Kevin was waiting. Go ahead, Kevin. Your microphone.
So this evening, I voted not to put it on for a vote for tonight for more than one reason. Reason number one is it wasn't in the agenda, and if we're going to vote on the master plan, it should be on it as an agenda action item so that everybody in the community knows that it's there, number one. Number two, we have worked on this, yes, for 2.5, 3 years, let's say, and a lot, and I will say this, I said it last meeting, I want to thank everybody on the Planning Commission. I want to thank Ross, Derek, the Finance Director. There has been input from many, many people, and all of those people, I would like to thank them for doing all of that. The idea that it has been such a long time, and I don't feel that it's a bad idea to take a few more weeks or a month to go through this and make sure that the people that do have questions or concerns, that we iron those out. If that means having a meeting with, for the board members to talk to some of the people on the Planning Commission, I think that's a great idea. I think if we want to have a meeting with the community as a hearing, our board have a hearing about it, we could do that. And would it be redundant in some ways? Yes, probably. But I think, it's, for instance, with the, putting asphalt on a street on Elba Island, we actually go through how many stages to do that? There are 3 stages before we put, asphalt on a road. So I think the master plan is important enough that we talk about it until everybody is as satisfied as we can do it, within reason, of course. Thank you.
Bill?
Thank you, Joe. My thoughts pretty much align with what Ross and Joe have said, to some degree with Kevin. The issue is one where a number of people can look at something, they'll all have a different viewpoint. When the final decision is made, there'll be somebody who's not satisfied. It's going to always be that way. It has always been that way. The allegation that this is a terrifically horrendous thing, as I've listened to what was explained tonight about appealing this and doing it later on as opposed to getting it done now, on the basis of my education background and experience in my studies of law, and when I was a pre-law guy at Michigan, this administrative law is standard practice in different ways. In fact, Kevin compared similarities between asphalt and this. There's hearings for people to have an opinion, and at some point you have to say, when is enough enough? And we're soon getting there, in my opinion. We have other business to handle in this community. There's a $50,000 grant hanging out here. We want to give everybody a chance to have an opportunity to express an opinion. We gave our previous board appointed the people to the commission who are there. We have granted them the trust that we feel appropriate, and I think they have earned it. There's going to have to be a time to decide. And we've got to decide when enough is enough, is what I'm saying.
All right, thank you, Bill. As the discussion item states, we need to know what's the next step. What's the consensus of the board for the next step then? We all have given our opinions on where it should go or where it shouldn't go. What is the next step that we'll be happy with?
I think we need to vote on it, and I think we need to have a deadline where everybody's prepared to vote. So that means if you have to, talk with a planning commissioner or commissioners, then that's what you need to do. Or if you need more meetings and discussion with Ross or Brian Borden, then that's what you need to do. Like I said, we've had those discussions, but if there, are still outstanding questions for some people, then we need to have that, but we should have a deadline. To Bill's point, we can't keep kicking the ball.
No, I agree with you on that. We can't keep kicking the ball. And to tag on with something you said earlier, as far as having respect for the people who are doing this, of course, I think everybody up here respects what they've done. That's not the issue. Part of my issue, and I've talked to Ross, I've talked to others on the board, is to change certain things, little things. Well, I shouldn't say little things, but change certain things. Part of the concern is, I keep going back to Macomb Street. I talked about the housing stuff earlier in other meetings that we had with the planning commission and when you earlier or whatnot. Smaller homes, small lots, whatever, that's already in the plan, right? And that's been pointed out, and I'm perfectly clear on that now. My big hangup is with Macomb Street. It talks about, I'm looking at 3 different documents talks about growth. But we also talk about putting more single-family residences on Macomb Street. It's in there, though. So then enlighten me on that, please,
Yeah.
please.
Well, one second, I don't mean to interrupt you, Mark, but equate that then to the next step. I know it's what
Okay.
you want, and I don't
I
mean
would
to
like to
interrupt
see
either,
a change
Ross.
before I could vote, to move forward and vote yes, and I'd like to see a change in that. So I guess what I'm saying is maybe come up with specific changes that we could send back.
That's
I think
what
I'm
I'm
going to
trying to
be,
get
I think I'm going to be in a minority on that as well, and so be it. I understand, but that's my thought at this point, I guess.
Okay, let me, just so we keep this moving on what the task is at hand with this. How many here, and I know Mickey's gone, how many here would like to propose a list to go back to the plan? Is there anybody here that has some items we'd like for us to compile a list to send back to the planning commission? And that's what our task is under this discussion item. Is anybody in favor of that? Mark, you would like
I'd be
to?
in favor of that.
Kevin, would you like to compile maybe a list and we send to the planning commission to look at?
I support those that want to do that.
Okay. Jameson, would you be in favor of that?
Yeah, there's a few items I would ask
So we
them to
can-
modify.
Okay. Bill, would you be in favor of that?
I don't have any personally, but I would support everybody else if they have those questions. But I'd like them to decide that's enough when that's done.
Okay. Let's
Fair, right?
let's-
Get one crack.
let's do this. We'll compile a list. What's the best way to do it? To email me, email you, we'll compile a list
Or email Ross and put the
I
list
think it
together.
needs to be it needs to be a motion by the board. It needs to be, the township board hereby rejects the master plan as presented, and it needs to be sent back to planning commission with these direct
We
amendments.
have to
Yeah.
make a motion and vote on it?
Yes.
You
It needs to be a
have-
formal rejection of the master plan. With amendments.
With these amendments.
Correct.
Before we reject it, can't we go back and ask to, I mean,
At this point, it's either accept or reject with these amendments. That's the process. That's the legal process.
Yeah, no, I
You have to
understand.
follow the
Because
law, you just have
they've
to know
already
what you're
passed it
doing.
on to the township board. They've already approved it unanimously and sent it to the township board for adoption.
But we haven't voted on it yet.
Correct. So you have to either approve or reject with these definite items.
Okay, then I'm gonna put it on the agenda for
For the
next.
11th.
I'm sorry?
For the 11th?
Yeah, then I'll put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Good.
Thank you, though, for that
Yeah.
insight.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we do it the correct way. Okay, so,
I need to make something clear for the record here.
yes, sir.
In this period until August 11th, we will, if we choose, provide a list of our concerns to the planning commission, and they will be obliged by August 11th to have gotten information to us, maybe a little bit ahead of time to analyze the answers, so
Well,
that we can make a vote. Is
No,
that
we'll
correct?
vote first and then send it, correct?
Yeah, so
Ross?
if-
Yeah.
Oh, so we won't kick
No,
that?
we've got to vote first to reject, and
Got
then
it.
with these changes.
I'm glad
and
I asked that
there'll be a list
question.
on that can be opened
Correct.
up by the people if they want to see it, or, is that correct?
Yeah, and if you want, you can give either Ross or myself that list, and we can put it together in the action item.
Correct.
Reject with these amendments.
Right. But there needs to be consensus from the board on each individual action item. So, I mean, because I'm not sure exactly what the board is going to reject, but there needs to be.
There'll be a
overall-
conversation on the 11th to make sure you guys are all in agreement, or at least the majority is in agreement of that list, and there could be conversation about adding or deleting certain components of
Correct,
that
but
list.
I
I'd
know
like
we
to-
have to reject it first.
I'd like to
Well,
back up
you have
over
to
that.
reject it with, it's,
Changes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
We can't just do it now and send it to them.
I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. Let's say we have 11 items. Item number one, we reject. We have to cast a vote on item number one to either accept or reject it before it goes to the board, the planning commission. Is that what you said, Ross?
No, what we talk about it beforehand is what Derek was saying, and we will all come to a consensus of that list that goes to them, the total list. Because first we reject it, then with the total list.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the list.
We'll talk about the list and then, okay, that's what I needed
the
to
list needs to
clarify.
be included in the motion.
Okay.
That was,
Are we good on that? Now, just so I know, to delineate between the two, who wants to hold the list?
It's either Ross, myself, or you, I guess. Do you want to do it, and then we can work together to put the action item together?
Yep.
Okay, so send your list to the supervisor.
Why don't you guys send it to me? Send it to me on, obviously, my work laptop.
And do you have a date you want it, the finals to get to you?
Yeah, so the 11th is the meeting, so
Gotta be 7, 8.
the Monday prior to that is, what's that date? The 4th. So everything's got to be to the supervisor by the 3rd, because we've got to have it done by the 4th.
Yeah, can we do that? Yes. And if possible, people, could you do a little before? I mean, can you give me a little time to put it all together? Thank you. Thank you very much, Ross, for your explanations. Okay, we know where we're going on that. Thank you, board, and that's the direction for the next step. All right, very good.
Okay. Good evening. So the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee will be having a special meeting this week. That if it's canceled, I will not forget to tell Ross. And we are looking at 2 RFPs. One to do some paving along the south end of the trail system, essentially a 1.5-inch cap, and then also an RFP to look at signage and whatnot across the island. Actually, we looked at that one last month. The other RFP we will look at in the special meeting is for a comprehensive trail audit by engineers in order to give us an idea of what needs to be maintained at what intervals and what that cost will be. The Recreation Commission did not meet in July because July is the biggest recreating month of the year. However, I did go to the Macomb Street Social District opening, which was the first Island nights of the season, and it was a pretty good event. It was a great turnout. Looked like people were having a lot of fun, and it was safe, and everyone followed the rules. I will be out in and out of the area, so I will not be at tomorrow's meeting. So apologies.
Trial's canceled.
Oh, well then.
I'm sorry, I was going to announce that.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Well then, tomorrow's canceled. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Kevin?
The treasurer's report summary. The treasurer's office has been busy collecting summer tax payments. Summer 2025 property taxes are due September 15th, 2025. Please be aware that the treasurer's office cannot accept post-dated checks as payment for property tax payments or any other payments that are being made to the township. The extension of the summer tax due date is available for those who qualify, yet the deferment application must be submitted by September 15th, 2025. Summer tax deferment applications are available at the treasurer's office. Approved deferments will extend the September 15th due date until February 17th, 2026. And thank you to everybody for paying their taxes. And that is.
That it, sir? Yes, sir. All right, thank you very much. Trustees report. Mickey is excused tonight. William, you're next.
Thank you, Joe. I sit on two commissions. The Airport Commerce Park Commission is the first one I want to mention. Two things. I guess you might be able to see a picture up there. It's a group of us who met a man who's holding there a Navy jacket. His name is Mike Johns. He served here from 1968 through 1970. He lives now in Florida, and he came up here with his jacket and some other memorabilia, which is going to the Historical Society. This gentleman to his immediate right, that's me on his left, is from the Historical Society. And it was a nice moment. We were thankful for the memorabilia that he left and the conversation we had about his service. The other event that has happened over at the airport was the History on Wheels. Is the event over the weekend, and you might have heard the helicopter flying by providing rides, but it was a success. And the airport is, as ever, a busy place to be. It's not much to need to be said about what's going on with the Planning Commission. We spent a good deal of time tonight giving it attention. Those people, in my opinion, are a very knowledgeable, ethical, decent bunch of people doing what they feel is best. And like at any other organization I've ever been a part of, concerned, conscientious people don't always agree on everything. But we'll work our way through it and try to be fair to one another and live to work another day. Thank you.
Okay. Mark?
Thank you. I'm on the zoning board. I'm the liaison for the zoning board. On August 26th at 6 p.m., we have an appeal for 22664 East River Drive. They're seeking a variance from section 285-18.6. We also may have an appeal on September 23rd for the Miss Dr. Ludsick, her appeal regarding the West River Golf or
West Shore.
Well, thank you, West Shore Golf Course. Thank you, Bill. Right now, that's tentatively scheduled for 6 p.m. There's going to be a 5 p.m. closed session meeting before that if this goes through on the 23rd. And that concludes my report at this time.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Margaret?
So I want to also reiterate, same thing as Jameson. the Island Nights, I want to thank Chad Novak and Wendy Kearney. They did a fabulous job. Along with all the island businesses that participated. I thought everything went off really well. There were a lot of people, a lot of families. I thought everybody just really came together and did a fabulous job, and I wanted to highlight that. From a communication standpoint, I want to just remind people to sign up for the upcoming e-newsletter. I mentioned that at the last board meeting, but we're going to be kicking that off in September. So if you're interested in participating or reading the newsletter, it's very easy to do, and it's on the township website. You can just sign up for it. It's under the e-alerts. And one more thing, I keep getting a lot of questions, and this is probably another discussion we probably need to have separate, but on e-bikes and ordinance for e-bikes. So I'm hoping that all the e-bike riders out there, at the very least right now, let's try to watch out for everybody. Be very, very careful. There have been a lot of close calls from the sounds of it, and I think it's just everybody needs to follow the rules of the road, and that includes anybody on a bike, whether it's a regular bike or an e-bike. But let's keep in mind people are on the bike paths walking dogs. Just watch out for them right now, and I think it's really important that we do that. So that was it for me.
With Mickey's absence this evening, I wanted to just address Dump the Junk, Find a Treasure, which has been scheduled for September 6th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This flyer is on our website if you need a reminder about when the date is, and also the type of material that they will be willing to take at the event. You see unacceptable items here and acceptable items. So they've already ordered all the dumpsters. They'll be here for your use. And those that are looking for a treasure, there's always opportunities there to grab a few things that you maybe never knew you needed, but look like they're valuable to you. So Dump the Junk, Find the Treasure, September 6th from 9 to 3. The DPS department has been involved in scheduling road work for the upcoming concrete and asphalt work that was scheduled for this summer. Elba Drive looks like that'll probably take place about mid-August. And our concrete work should have actually started today, but with the weather the storms forecasted for the day, they delayed. We are going to be working from the south end of the island to the north end of the island. So the first area of work is on Manchester. So these locations here are all the concrete locations. So we have work on Manchester, Cadillac Circle, Grays Drive, Park Lane, some work off of Ferry here, and then up in some of the northern neighborhoods as well. Residents will receive a notice at their home before the work takes place. So those notices for, I believe, here and here have already taken place. So Little Parkway and then off Manchester. So that work should be starting fairly soon here. We don't anticipate any kind of road closures or anything associated with that work. Usually they'll work on one lane so the other lane is open, and these areas don't normally experience enough traffic where single lane closures are generally an issue. So just keep in mind that work going on, and look for that notice if you're in one of these areas. And then last under my report, there has been the initial Bridge Commission meeting. So the first one has been scheduled for August 20th. It looks like those will probably be on Wednesdays. They'll adopt the full year schedule at that meeting, but those meetings are going to be at 6 o'clock. And they're set on Wednesdays because that's pretty much the only day that this room is available. And I think it's going to be the third Wednesday of the month. So feel free to attend if you're interested in meeting the bridge commissioners and enjoy their first meeting. So with that, that concludes my report. Yes.
The Bridge Commission meetings will be televised?
They will be televised. Yep.
Excellent.
Yes.
And would you just everybody's asking about Meridian. What's
Yes. So actually, I had a conversation with the county today. They were supposed to they're supposed to provide me an answer in the next 2 weeks, but the plan all along from the county has been to do Meridian. They still attest that they're going to do it yet this year. The reason it hasn't been done already was because of the bridge and their ability to get heavier weight equipment across it prior to the repairs that just recently concluded. So my understanding is they're trying to fit it into their schedule yet to do it this summer, but I'm awaiting confirmation of that and a specific date, which they said they should have in the next couple of weeks. So
Thank you.
Derek,
Yep.
if I understand Meridian, it was like 3 separate stages over 3 years. This is stage 2 we were talking about now?
Yeah, the 3 stages really became 2 stages because they were supposed to do a section per year, but they missed a year, actually 2 years because of the bridge. So the one section was the one that was already done, which I believe was from like Parkway down to Island, and the next one would be Island all the way down to Bridge is what the conversation has been. We were also in conversation with them about doing some work over on East River Road as well. I know there's been a number of conversations on Facebook about Meridian and why the township didn't do it with millage funds. The county all but said we don't have money to go into the neighborhoods, but we do have money, especially because there's the availability of federal funds to do Meridian, some of the more primary roads like Parkway. So we stayed off those roads with local millage dollars.
To stay where you get the money.
Exactly. So we wanted to put those monies into areas where we know that the county was never going to be able to get to. So that's why Meridian was not part of the original road project, because eventually they are going to be able to do those. So, yep. Any other questions?
Thanks, Derek.
Thank you.
Okay, I just have a few things tonight. Once again, we have new commission for the bridge, and Mr. Smith-Bauer, who's on that commission, is in the audience. Mr. and Mrs., I'm sorry. Both must not have had anything going tonight, huh? But thank you very much, and I'm really looking forward. This group of men and lady, I should say, I'm very looking forward. I'm on that commission, and actually, as a report, the business end of the bridge is going very well. The staff, everything is going, running fairly smooth. A couple things that we're doing is I did get a bid on webcams, and I want to put webcams in. There'll be 4 of them. You'll be able to see down Meridian, down Bridge Road going up to the bridge. You'll be able to see to the toll plaza. From the toll plaza then, you'll be able to see to West Jefferson, yes. But there'll be 4 cameras, so you'll see if there's a backup. This may help you if you're at work or if you're out, and if the bridge does close down, the county bridge again, which probably will, or if they have just even a day or 2 repair. This will help you. You just go to grosville.com and take a look at the cameras, and if you want to stay out a little longer, save you some time, but it should help you. So those will be in soon. I want to talk about the road repair. The west side of the road has been repaired. There are 2 major potholes from a water main break that we did get repaired. And we're also looking into doing the east side of the entire lane, which is the shoulder there. And Derek and I got together and we were just going to do it ourselves. Now that would have been a trick in another city, but we were still going to do it. But the county, I must say, graciously said, we'll do it, we'll pay for it, but it's going to be a while. And we thought, well, okay, well, we'll deal with that for just a little bit. We'll see how much a while is, and then we'll go from there. But we were willing to do it ourselves and pay for it with the funds from the bridge. So either way, we're going to get that done. So leaving the toll plaza should be a much better experience roadway-wise. So Anyway, I want to mention one thing. Margaret brought it up. The complaints on the e-bikes and things like that we've got have been incredible. I'm going to go to the next BPAC meeting, and I'm going to request, now I don't want to get too deep into this, but there's a question of, in the state of Michigan, if the e-bikes are motorized or not, even though it's electric. And the definition in Michigan is that they are not, which means they have the ability then to be on the bike path. I have a little concern of, Mr. and Mrs. Jones walking down the bike path who are 75 years old, and a e-bike has the ability to come by you at 35 miles an hour, and some e-bikes do 39 miles an hour. Class 3, that's the top one. You zig and zag the wrong way, and we're going to have ourselves an issue. So I'm going to see if we can get an ordinance on Grozil. I'm going to ask the BPAC committee to task this. Look, I think kids should have fun. I love it when they're outside instead of, staying home and getting computer butt. So the whole point is, I think that this is good, that they're doing things and getting from point A to point B to see their friends. What a beautiful thing. I don't want to take the fun away, but we've got to do something that makes it safe, because I dare say everyone in this room, it's not about what they drive, it's about how they drive. And if everybody who's been a kid, a 12-year-old, 13, 14, 15, 16, let's just say there are some unusual ways that I've seen them handle these bikes that, once again, class 3s will do up to 39 miles an hour. So let's just say they do 20. We've got to control this, because they've got to be safe. They just have to be safe. I made the comment, and I'm not going to apologize for this at all, but I talked to one gentleman, and he was kind of taken by this, who lives by me, where his son was, again, not that he has one, it's how he was driving. It was crazy. And the speed that he was going up and down, blind. Our subdivisions are blind, and I told him, I'm tired enough going to Martinson's for friends my age. I don't want to go for a child. And that'd be the worst thing you have to see. And he was very taken by that. Well, I'm being honest with you. If we don't control some of this, somebody's going to get hurt. It's not
if, it's when.
It's absolutely when. You're absolutely correct. And I was having a little tough time bringing that out. So anyway, Doug and I have been working. Margaret and Doug have been working on it. We're going to get something done. There'll be some changes, I hope, fairly soon. Of course, this takes months to get through, but I will ask them to do this. But I just want you to know that I've taken it to heart, and I'm not letting this one go, because this is children are our greatest resource, and nobody losing a child. Nothing can be like that in life. So and anybody else getting hurt, I don't want to see that either. So that's about it for tonight. Unless anybody else has any. Teresa, do you have anything? All right, then I need a motion to adjourn. Mark? Oh, Mark motioned for adjournment. I need a second.
Second.
Oh, you know what? That is my fault. Is anybody from the audience? I missed the public comment. Kyle, I fully apologize. I was
Waved your arms around or something.
No, thank you. Sorry to extend this a little bit.
no, this is my fault. You go.
But no, thank you all. I've heard a lot of folks talk about respect for the Planning Commission. I want to be clear. I do respect the Planning Commission very much. I know the folks on there. They do a lot of good work in a lot of different ways. I'd also ask, though, that folks really consider the folks that participated in that master plan process, the 2,000 folks that filled out those surveys, the 300 folks that have signed the petition that I've been on, the 90 folks that wrote letters before the public hearing that were dismissed at the public hearing on the Planning Commission. Those are a lot of folks that wanted certain outcomes. They didn't get those. I've been on the board before, I don't think a lot of folks realize that you are limited in what you can do many times. You all are feeling that right now with the master plan. It isn't a really good option to send it back because, like you said, the planning commission can sit on it. You might lose grant funding, et cetera. That's not a great option. If I were on the board, I'd vote to send it back. I understand that that's not where the board is, and I respect all of you for doing that. I will say very clearly right now, after the discussion you all had, I do feel listened to, so I'm grateful for that. I didn't feel that in the planning commission. I'll say that right now. And I will communicate that to everyone that signed that petition. I do feel you are listening. I'm grateful you're putting that list together. Again, knowing that's where I was, I do think there's a way out of this. I really do. Not out of it, but a way for a lot of folks to feel listened to. And again, it's if you all aren't comfortable sending that list back, it's initiating a minor amendment after you approve it. Even things like the typos that are in it, the bad history, I think that's something you got to fix. You know, I just, it doesn't feel right to me. I think that's something that we should be proud of. And right now, I just don't feel proud of it. And I'm not saying that you have to send it back, but I do think you should consider a minor amendment pretty quickly after that, at least to fix the typos in there, if not to consider some of the lists that you all are putting together. So I will leave it there tonight. Thank you all so much.
Good,
Kyle,
thank you.
Kyle, really quick. I did speak with Ross about the typos and the history, and I believe that's going to be addressed. And
Okay.
I'll double check with him, but I just want you to be aware of that.
That's good. That's the first I'm hearing it tonight, so thank you. I
Actually,
appreciate that.
I
Yep.
think he did, but I don't want to
has
say
been
that.
addressed.
I just want you to know I did talk to him about that.
And I'll tell you, I brought those up the whole process. I've talked about the history since 6 months ago. So to hear that again makes me feel listened to. So thank you all so much.
Thanks, Kyle. Sorry about that. I was even going to give you more time. All right. Anybody else? Patrick, come on up. Huh? Oh,
Patrick Smithbauer, I just wanted to know, is the information on the Elba Island assessment that'll be in the public hearing, is that on the website that I can see the detail? Because I'm a resident of Elba Island, so I don't know all the details of it yet, so.
So yes, not only will you receive a letter at your house, but it's also in the newspaper as required by law. So yeah, all that information is available to you either through one of those two methods.
Yeah, 'cause I'd just like to get that in advance of the public hearing. The purpose of this is funding the road, is that?
Are you on the private portion of?
Yeah,
Are you? Yes.
Well, I don't know what you call the private portion.
Are you one
No,
of the
you're
six-
not before.
You're not.
No, he's between the gates and the front.
Yeah, I'm not south of the gate.
So
I'm
you're
north
not
of-
part of the special assessment.
Oh, I'm not
The
part
special
of it.
assessment district is only for those
Okay,
on the
then I
private
have
portion.
nothing.
That's past the gates,
Yeah,
Patrick.
very good. Okay.
Sorry.
It's also in the agenda packet online for the
Last meeting, I believe.
Yeah,
had
last
the
meeting.
assessment
Okay,
stuff.
I
So-
understand where you're going with that now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Patrick.
And I look forward to working with you too.
Thank you. Miss, did you have something? Yeah, come on up.
Deborah Stevens, 9140 Bellevue, and we do need something on the e-bikes. There are kids on my street that go the 39 miles an hour. They're going faster than cars. Back to the master plan, I would endorse your proposal about getting a collection of recommended changes, but I would also urge you to also recognize all the people that have put effort into it, input, and I know we only have a week if that's your deadline, but also have the opportunity for residents to also provide input to you all on the recommended changes. I would also say on the changes, a lot of it isn't so much that I didn't like what was in the plan or I don't like this part of it. I think a lot of it was the fact that there were you paid thousands, I'm assuming, to consultants to come up with a plan, and then the commission came and got rid of some of it. And I think that didn't go over well with a lot of people because it's like, well, then this group is putting their opinion on it rather than taking the whole as what was being recommended. So I just have those comments to make tonight. I appreciate all your work. I know it's a huge effort. And you know, there's also that we haven't had maybe interest in all of the meetings, but you know, a 2-year project, it's when you have input it's hard to maintain interest over a period of time like that. And if, people got involved in some of the focus groups and some of the surveys, and then it was like, okay, now sit and wait. So I think it's still possible to engage the public, and I would urge you to do so. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. No emails? I should ask first on the other one. Anybody else? We all good? Okay, now I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Meeting ended 8:39.
Joe.